calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key to The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Try to lay one up deep. He's got a man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, a lot of action right out of the gate. The two teams barely off the buses. We've already had the touchdown and now the interception.
Yeah, whatever happened to the feeling out process? You know, kind of throw a few jabs out there, kind of circle the ring a little bit. Both of them throwing haymakers right out of the gate. And the second one was an interception that may cost him.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Evan Ingram, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Johnson.
Now Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Now Austin. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action, Pickett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up the 3rd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Now Pickett on 4th down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Steelers take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And the slot man goes in motion left. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Hey, Echo! Hey, Charlie!
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on the job.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 21-0 our score after 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. $51 yards on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Jags are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Lawrence will throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Hey, back
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I'm ready.
They'll run with Robinson. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. James Robinson with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on the quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Pickett. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Second and 10 now. It's Lawrence. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air. And I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Hey, exit.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete as well. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Picking now to throw off the play fake. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Glenn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
Leo!
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Just what they need, electric from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Hey, I step it. Yeah.
Here's Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. And he rifles one incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch,
and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Jags have cut it back within a score. After right down the middle, and this is back to a 5-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Trayvon Walker makes the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a quarterback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job of reading the play, making the play around the line of scrimmage. But an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in the game.
Boswell's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the 2nd half and take over.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
Partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Lawrence. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. A good pickup there at 22. Now Lawrence on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence. That's complete to his tight end, Farrell. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Look at the final. Go on.
Now Lawrence. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Lawrence to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. And he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defense.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. Lawrence going to look to throw for it. It's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try and grab that lead back. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Pickett will look to throw it here. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The quarterback gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. On the return, here's Agnew. And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Trying for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars have broken their tie and have taken a fourth-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he's all the way in for the touchdown. No flags. And in the final stages of this game, they're an extra point away from tying us up. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Lawrence. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, Delta.
Throwing now, Lawrence. And this is going to be intercepted. There he goes left side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them, an absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Go, go. Hey, Echo. Hey, Charlie.
Back to throw. Lawrence. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Jags are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Here's Lawrence. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, that one's going to hurt big time because it's a one-score game, and they certainly thought with that throw they were getting a difference-making score right there.
They'll look to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Steelers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date.